ओके हेलो गाइस हम हमारा न्यू कोर्स स्टार्ट करते हैं विद द इंट्रोडक्शन टू द डॉकर एंड क्यूबिनेटर्स so basically in this course sections we have learned about the dockers and the docker use cases image containers and how we can use the CI/CDs with the help of maintaining the various servers and images for the dockers and as well as the Kubernetes that which is giving the more reliable use of the Docker on that part. We have some conceptual ways of how we can just use for the deploy with the help of Kubernetes. So let's move ahead with the overview of the Docker and Kubernetes. So yeah, the Docker platform for developing and shipping and running an application is isolated container. So yeah, मैं सिंपल वे में समझाता हूँ इज लाइक आप कोई एक एप्लीकेशन रन कर रहे हो इज लाइक particular application that which is made from Node.js and like from Python and using Flask and these application have their particular environments, right? Like the Node.js having the node modules, they storing their all the libraries in their systems, and for the Python and Flask for the environment, envs is there, and they also storing in there, they depending on their but the system storage, right? So so just suppose if you are using any particular application, then these is storing and taking the data from your systems, right? So these systems can be creating the issues, right? If you are running from the isolated container, like you are creating the separate server, then you can just download your specific modules, and you can access with that specific modules, right? So that's why we are using the docker that which is dockerize our application, that use that application in a isolated containers. Okay, so same as for the Kubernetes, an open source container that orchestrations platform for managing and containerized applications. So the Docker had the plus versions of Kubernetes. So Kubernetes that maintaining the small the Docker's part for maintaining the CI/CD deployments. Okay. For the importance of the Docker, simplify the app deployment and ensure the consistency. Kubernetes automates the deployment, scaling, and operations of application containers. Okay. So visual, we can say that the side-by-side comparison with the icon of Docker and orchestrations. Okay. Why we need to learn Docker and Kubernetes? वो मैंने आपको अभी ही बता दिया था. But yeah, the enable consistent development environment. The reason is that the simplify the CI/CD pipelines, optimize the resources used for scalability, manages the complex distributed systems. Okay. So yeah, working with the Docker images, we have initiated with the Docker images, and these images that starting with the some of the basic steps, like using the pre-built images pulled from Docker hubs, creating the custom images, write a Docker file, and build best practices we can use for the use a small base images, minimize layer in a Docker files, like don't create the GBs of files out there, or the sensitive data in the images in the Dockerized files. Okay, yeah. Okay, so data management in Docker, we can the managing the data is बिल्कुल in the consistent way and persistent data storage, and the commands are docker volume create the my volumes, and the bind mount mounts like link a host directly to containers, and use cases the sharing data between the containers and backups. Okay, so yeah, and let's go through with some of the basics of Kubernetes as well as. So the Kubernetes is the small clusters that manages the nodes that managed by the Kubernetes. Okay, so the nodes is the machine that run the pods, and pods is the smallest unit of deployable unit. मैं down to up गया है इसके अंदर. Okay, so these are the systems, and deploying application with the Kubernetes meaningful eye contact. The deploy app on Kubernetes using AWS EKS enable auto scaling of the clusters step by step deployment process. And practical demos and projects, these are the some practical demos we can use in the right side. These are the These are the debugging points and the projects we can use for that. The Node.js app, Python based processing, PHP Laravel, e-commerce setup, and optimizing and debugging stay calm need to be recorded during the dockerizing part. And we have to looking for the debugging tools, cubicle logs, docker logs, security best practices, restrict privilege in a container, use secure images, optimizing resources utilization in Kubernetes. So yeah, this all about the video. And हम नेक्स्ट वीडियो में देखते हैं. We started with the more about the Docker and the Docker images and installation as well as. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video.